Welcome to another episode of Through the Roof, a consumer-focused podcast where we talk about all things residential metal roofing. I'm back in the booth. I feel like we're in one of those baseball booths, right?
Yeah.
Which I love the Atlanta Braves, and I would totally call a game right now. That's what it feels like. I feel like I'm
A
in the
winning
booth.
game or a losing game?
A winning game.
Yeah,
A winning
I
game.
don't know that you feel the same way on a losing game.
Exactly. Yeah, because we're looking at the screen right now, and I feel like I'm looking down onto the ball field, you know? Kind of how it looks when they do the booth shots from the okay. Got distracted there. Today we're talking about something really cool.
Yeah. So I think when people think of metal roofing, there are a lot of common vertical panels that come to mind.
Yep.
What we would call our tough rib panel, which is the exposed fasten panel, or standing seam like our Duralock. But what a lot of people don't realize is that we've talked about it earlier. Steel is very versatile. There are actually some metal shake and metal shingle roofing options that are out there on the market.
There are, yeah. You know, like what you said, a lot of people think metal roofing is a linear product. It's got long lines, you know, which is one of the appeals. But like you said, there are different options, and we are proud to carry one of what we think is the best options for metal shingles and metal shakes on the market. From our friends at Green American Home and Isaiah Industries, great products. And we're going to talk about two of those primary product lines today, the Great American Steel Shake and the Centura Steel Shingle. And as the names imply, one of these is made to mimic the look of wood shakes, and one of them is made to mimic the look of like a tile or a traditional asphalt shingle roof.
And just to kind of paint maybe a more vivid picture, the wood shake is a very three-dimensional product. So it has some really great height, and it's got some kind of depths in the
deep shadow lines.
In the actual grain of the product. And then the Centura shingle is a little more modular. It's a little more flat and looks maybe more like a traditional asphalt shingle, but it is indeed not asphalt. It is all steel, baby.
That's right, yeah. And if you're listening to this and you are near a computer and you want to follow along, go to truemetalsupply.com, click on the products page, and you'll see what the two products we're talking about. And you can kind of look at it while we're talking about them. Let's talk a little bit about the Great American Steel Shake product there, Adam. And this is that, as the name implies, this is made to kind of counteract a real authentic wood shake.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you may ask yourself, like, why would we create a steel product, or why would we partner with somebody who creates a steel product that mimics and tries to achieve a similar look to an existing product? And the reality is there's a lot of drawbacks for non-steel roofing products. You just have to think, your roof is out in the sun and in the rain and in the wind, and everything else that happens around it in the environment is attacking it. And you have to understand that things that are not made of steel break down much faster than steel does. And so that's one of the reasons that we're so excited to promote these steel alternative products. While we do love the linear panels and we're very passionate about that side of our industry, we also realize that not everybody likes that look, or not everybody's allowed to even use that look. There may be a homeowners association that says, hey, you can't use the linear panels, but maybe a steel shingle is a reasonable alternative, which kind of keeps every party satisfied. So yeah, the real advantages that we get with the steel shake shingle, one, it's a beautiful look. It looks like wood shake, but it avoids having some of the tear down or the breakdown of wood shake shingles over, especially the first 10 years. I think wood shake shingles have been around for a long time. Trees have been around for a long time, right? So it's not a stretch to think that, okay, people have been using wood shake shingles for a long time, right? Because it's convenient and it's there. It does look good, but the drawback is, if you've ever had anything else that's made of wood that's out in the elements, it actually breaks down pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's not, wood shakes are not known for their durability in a hailstorm, right? Sure. Like they're known for breaking and busting up and having to be replaced when things like that happen. And that's where this product really shines. Another thing that that wood shakes are not known for is their energy efficiency. And that's where this steel shake really outperforms those traditional wood shakes. This is one of the most energy efficient products that you can possibly put on your roof. It reflects anywhere between 25 to 65% of solar energy, depending on what color selection that you make. And previously it enjoyed tax credit benefits, which are periodically renewed, just depending on what the government does. Who knows what's going on around there? But it's in the past been recognized by Energy Star because it's such an energy efficient product. And as a matter of fact, Oak Ridge National Laboratories, our neighbors down here in Oak Ridge, did a really in-depth study on metal roofing products like these and found that they can save up to 30% on heating and cooling costs.
Yeah, and we've got that information.
Yeah, and that's all on our website.
Environmental.
But that's just another way that these steel shake products outperform their authentic counterparts.
Yeah, I think another thing that's really cool, we had a chance to go up to Ohio to visit our friends at Isaiah Industries, and our friend Todd Miller.
Shout out to Todd.
It was kind enough to drive us around that area where there was some roofs, some actual shake and Centura shingle roofs that were installed in that area. And most of these roofs he was showing us were 20, 25 years old.
It was unbelievable.
And like, I love steel roofing products, and like, I believe in their longevity. But it was really almost a completely different perspective to see a roof that was that old that looked so good, especially in contrast to some of the neighboring roofs. And so when we talk about, what are some of the drawbacks to real wood shake shingles, the longevity of the product is a big deal. But also, like, if you have to do a repair on a wood shake shingle, because the wood ages significantly, your replacement shingles might be a totally different color than the rest of your roof. And that it may look like that forever. Going back to the durability of these steel shake shingles, I mean, there was total consistency across the entire every roof we looked at was consistent. It was clean. It's a self-cleaning system, so when it rains, it's just smooth surface, so it essentially cleans off the roofing system. And you weren't dealing with any of the buildup, any of the algae or the moss in particular, which tends to be more present on shake shingles, especially that are in shaded environments. And I was just really, really impressed with the longevity of this product. We even saw one that was like 40 years old.
It was, yeah. He said it had been on there 30 plus years, and literally my jaw dropped when he said it. Because we've both been around metal roofing for a long time. We've seen a lot of metal roofs.
Not 30 years, but
we've seen a lot of metal roofs. And when between the way that it had held up, this was in Ohio. It's flatland. They get hail, they get high winds, they get
snow,
they get tornado. I mean, they get a lot of that weird weather. And this roof had been on there for over 30 years, and you could not have convinced me if I had not known that it had been on there any longer than 2
we
years.
Actually challenged Todd a little bit. Like, you're kidding us. But I think he's a man of integrity. I think he was being honest with us. But such an impressive product, and again,
very impressive.
It's got the PVDF paint, that does weather really, really well in exposure to UV. And I really couldn't believe it. I actually have a wood shake experience, a real wood shake experience myself.
Pool house.
Yeah, so I recently bought a house, and the pool house has real wood shakes on them. And it's interesting because one side is kind of shaded and it doesn't face the oncoming wind, and the other side is in the sun like all day.
Okay.
And it faces the oncoming wind. And the side that's shaded, it's still fine. It's got significant green moss on it, which again, it looks fine. I don't really care. It's on the back of the pool house. No one ever sees it.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah. But the front of the pool house is like every shake shingle is cracked. I've got a ton of them that have fallen. Like, the wind has really affected them.
Yeah, it's doing the curl.
It's doing the curl. And like, I don't even know where to start to fix these stupid things. Like, I got a pallet of replacement shingles, and I'm just like, well, do I just go up there and slide it under and tack it down? And, it looks totally different. And, why should I expect it to last any differently than the first set? Probably if I install it myself, it won't last as much as the first set. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really just like, it's almost a no-brainer for me. Like, it's going to be time to replace these things. And, I think that Great American Home Steel
Shake
is going to be the solution for us, so we don't have to deal with that in the future.
Yeah, and that's a similar experience to what other people probably have seen. And this is a really popular product for people that have had a wood shake on their home, and it's time to replace it. And they think, what kind of, and a lot of people are energy conscious. They want something that's energy efficient. They want something that's 100% recyclable at the end of its life, like this is. They want something that's going to perform well on their roof, that's not going to leak. And they're not familiar that these options exist. Well, that's why we're doing this podcast about it. There is an alternative for those wood shakes, and this Great American Steel Shake is that alternative. On the other side of that, there's a great option that's an alternative for the traditional look of asphalt shingles.
Yeah, the Sentra shingle, the steel shingle, is just, again, going and seeing a true application, not just a sample, but going and seeing the product installed. It really is just unbelievable how beautiful the product is. And we were kind of joking, it's 2022, right? So we're kind of still in this crazy real estate market.
Yeah.
And we drove past this one house, and beautiful.
Yep.
The lawn was beautiful. The siding was a brick house, but they painted it white, and they had charcoal gray accents on the corners.
Yep.
Where the bricks were kind of staggered, and they had this beautiful, textured steel Sentra shingle on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you could take one picture. And I'm not a photographer. My wife's a photographer. I'm a crappy photographer. I could take one crappy picture with my cell phone and post it on a, just for on a real estate site, and boom, it would be gone. I mean, the whole house was brought together by this roof, and it was a really nice two-tone charcoal gray and kind of like light cream color that was on these shingles. Beautiful. And then you compare it to the asphalt shingles that were all around it. I mean, every other house in the neighborhood was asphalt shingles, and every other house, it was right when a isolated storm had come through, believe it or not, and it maybe hit like a quarter of a mile. It was a very, very small isolated storm, but we saw all of these roofs that had asphalt shingles, and almost every one of them had tarps on them. Yep. There was almost as many tarps as there were contractor signs out along the road.
There was a ton of roof signs on the road.
But it kind of just proved that, that shingle was exposed to like this extreme environment. Not only did it outperform the asphalt shingles, but it looked even better doing it.
Yeah, it did look even better. And aside from the tarps, there was another common theme with asphalt shingle roofs. They all had streaks all over them, which is a real problem with asphalt shingles, and we can talk about this. A lot of people don't know this, but algae is prone to grow on top of asphalt shingles. A specific kind of algae especially is called Gloeocapsa magma, and it actually penetrates into the shingle. It grows into the shingle and can create leaking points and just look really bad. And the algae grows on these asphalt shingles. As a matter of fact, if you want to try to resist this algae growth on your asphalt shingle, you have to get a special kind of asphalt shingle.
That's right. Yeah, there's a algae-resistant type of asphalt shingles. A lot of different providers, asphalt shingle providers, have this option. So if you're buying asphalt shingles, look for the AR abbreviation next to the model or to the code, and you'll be able to actually have a little protection against that. But typically what they're doing is they're putting zinc or copper into the actual
they're putting metal into the asphalt?
Oh, they're putting metal, yeah. And one thing that people may know about zinc, and especially copper, is it's super expensive, right now, especially right now. And so not only are you seeing the price gap change when you're looking at the difference between a steel shake and an asphalt shingle, or a steel shingle and an asphalt shingle, is if you want to have this added protection, this algae resistance, you're going to be paying a premium for that.
That's right. Yeah. So you start losing that, shingles are so cheap kind of attitude when you're wanting to actually talk about performance. And one of the great things about this Sentra steel shingle is that it's made out of steel. So you're not going to have the algae growth. No things are going to grow on the roof. They're not going to penetrate through the steel shingle.
Well, you don't have all the moisture is essentially evaporated.
Correct.
Right. Wind and sun help implement the evaporation of water on steel shingles. You have the lapping characteristics of asphalt shingles and shake, which gives moisture an opportunity to kind of hide, and that's where you see a lot of that growth happening, where the pieces actually are lapping together.
Yeah, I mean, asphalt shingles are porous. They retain moisture for a little bit. I mean, if you've ever been on an asphalt shingle roof shortly after a rain and you sit down on it, or you or you're working and you have your knees down on the roof, your knees will be wet.
Yeah.
You know, your butt's going to be wet where you sat down on it. That's not the same with a metal roof. When the sun comes out, the water runs off, it dries up quick, right? There's nowhere for it to go. It's not porous like that.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage it's got.
Well, I think, maybe the final advantage we can talk about, and there are still a lot of other advantages, but these are kind of the highlights. The warranty on asphalt shingles, I think it's a little bit notorious, I think. I think people buy a 30-year shingle and they don't expect 30 years out of it anymore.
Right.
And that's a shame. It's almost like, why have a warranty that says 30 years if it's not going to last you that long? It's almost become like a quality standard, like 50 years, maybe a little bit better quality, a little bit thicker product than 30 year when it comes to asphalt shingles. Well, I learned a lot about the warranty characteristics of the Sentra steel shingle and the Great American Steel Shake shingle. And I got to say, I'm absolutely blown away by the amount of value it adds because it's very different than a warranty for asphalt shingles.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lifetime warranty, and it's the lifetime of the product. It adds value to the home. This warranty is public information. You can reach out to us. We can provide you a look at it before you even buy the product, so you can see exactly what this warranty covers. It's super impressive. And I think, like you said, people buy a 30-year asphalt shingle and they don't expect to get 30 years out of it because, again, we've talked about this in previous episodes, warranties are so ambiguous these days. They can mean anything, and they've gotten a bad reputation, especially in the asphalt shingle world, of just not really covering anything. Yeah, it's got a 30-year warranty unless something happens.
Right. Like a gust of 60 miles an hour wind.
Right. Like you actually put it on your roof and have to. And so a lot of people are just like, oh, something happened. They're not going to cover this. This warranty doesn't mean anything, and I'll just get my roof replaced. The warranty with these two products, this steel shake and this steel shingle, man, it is absolutely awesome, and it does mean something. Almost
bulletproof. I was really surprised to hear this. There is a watertight warranty in terms of product, not installation, but in terms of the product, that you will not have water penetrate through your roof if a hailstorm strikes your neighborhood.
Right.
Regardless of the size of hail.
Right.
How crazy is that? Yeah. I mean, who else offers a warranty like that? So even though there may be some cosmetic damage that a lot of times your insurance provider will go ahead and take care of, there's not going to be this urgency to replace the roof right away because you're not going to have a leak. And while everybody else is paying a premium because contractors are outweighed by the demand of the damages caused by a heavy hailstorm, you can kind of cruise in, get 6 months down the road, and when it's time to replace the roof, you'll have contractors who they've been eating real good the last 6 months, and they might be hungry now, and they might be willing to cut you a deal.
Yeah. The warranty is super impressive. Just another benefit of this product. And the last thing, I don't think we've made notes on this, but I wanted to mention it, that totally sets these two steel products apart from their counterparts is its fire resistance. Mm-hmm. Again, it's made out of steel. It's not combustible, and you see a lot of fire stuff. Todd was talking about how popular these products are out on the West Coast in California, where they're seeing a lot of wildfires and stuff right now. Wood shakes are made out of wood. It's literally what you put in the stove to stoke it's what you build fires out of. It's made out of wood. Come on, guys. And you got asphalt shingles, which boast fire retardants now and things of that nature, but it's the product is still an oil-based product. It's combustible, and it can resist fire up to a certain point for a certain matter of minutes or whatever, but it is still combustible. Steel's not. Right. It's not combustible. It does not catch on fire. It's literally steel. And aside from all of the regular things people know these roofs to be, the four-way interlock has unparalleled wind uplift resistance. The four-way interlock actually is something that is unique to these products. A lot of other metal shingles and metal shakes don't have this four-way interlock, and so even they perform differently than the Centura and the Great American Steel Shake. So all around, absolutely top shelf, one of the best steel shake, steel shingle products on the market.
Well, yeah, and if you're going to make any investments in your home, and again, we noticed this when we were driving around looking at the installed products, every roof that had this product or one of these two products really, they had a pristine lawn. Like their landscaping was really, really well done. Their home, the siding, the windows, their vehicles, everything about this individual homeowner just kind of like made it very clear that they want their home to look a certain way, and they really take pride in their home. What a shame it would be to spend all that money on all of these other things to make your house look good, only to have asphalt shingles installed and have algae growth and streaking totally take away from the investment you've made and everything else. Like the roof is really, it's the highest part of the structure. People are going to see it when they're driving by. Good or bad, the roof does influence the perception of people seeing your home. So if that's something that's important to you, these are products that will really give you a wow factor, and not just the day that it's installed, but 20, 30, 40 years down the road.
That's right. Yeah, so if you're interested in learning more about these products or even getting a quote for the steel shingle or the steel shake on your home, go to truemetalsupply.com, click on the products page, and you'll see these two products, the steel shake, the steel shingle, listed there. Click on those and fill out the form, or just click get a quote, and we'll pull up an aerial view of your home. We'll get the measurements off of it, and we'll give you a quote specific to your home, and you'll know exactly what kind of price you're looking at to get these steel shakes or these steel shingles on your home. And that's free. We offer that service for free. So cool. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to another episode of Through the Roof. And people don't tune in anymore, right?
I do.
And you tune?
I don't know. I'm old school.
I say tuning is not really a thing anymore, I guess. You just pulled it up on an app. But
pull that app up.
Pull that app up and hit the subscribe button while you're there. We would greatly appreciate it. We don't want to have to beg, but we will. So until next time, guys, take care.